Hi there, I'm a Jester in Black, and this is Chapter 20 on Maddening mode. Alright, let's do a little bit of analysis. So, the first thing to note about this map is I don't get to see the boss's stats, because he's hidden behind this question mark terrain. So his stats will be a surprise to me, but hopefully they're not overwhelming. And as long as I blitz him down in one turn, I don't have to worry about him hitting everyone on the map for massive damage and critting and killing them. We also have Titanuses somewhere. I think there's one here. And these are probably the biggest problem with this map if I don't do some kind of a warp skip strategy here. 57 attack with 50 crit is colossal. And they also have pretty beefy protection and resilience and tons of HP, so taking them out is relatively problematic. They also end up with Axebreaker and Swordfarer, so their attack climbs into the 60s. And they also have 50% damage reduction from Barrier and Pavis and Aegis as well, so makes killing them even harder. And they're also probably going to spawn from somewhere around here until I take out... I forget if it's the enemies hidden in this place or on the one up here. But one of these two stops them from spawning if you can get to them fast enough. There's also a ton of doors here, so I'm probably going to want to either buy some door keys to speed things along or warp past those as well, because I don't think you can just fly right over them.
Now is the time. Remove the binding spell of Titanus. Let their metal bodies be drenched in blood.
What is that?
Demonic beasts? No, I think not. They appear to have no will of their own. Someone must be controlling them.
Initiate all that remain. We must advance our preparations.
Alright, so here we go. First thing to note is I'm not playing with a full deck here. I'm actually down 3 deployment slots, and I chose not to deploy units here because this Bow Knight here has pretty huge range and he starts moving on his own. And they basically will get pinned up here, and I don't really have enough strong units to deal with this Bow Knight very effectively. They can't make a break through these units to get down to this corner safely, or go this way through these Dark Mages. So it's a little bit safer to just not deploy anyone up there. Also, the boss has Quake, which means that flyers are not affected by his massive AoE that hits everyone. So that's why I have chosen for this chapter, and this chapter being a rare one, to actually make Petra into a Pegasus Knight instead of a Swordmaster. Now the first thing I'm going to do with this Pegasus Knight Petra, and I think I'll probably do it from outside this Dark Mage's range, because while Lysithea can survive one hit from him, she probably won't survive being doubled, especially since he has a crit tome. But I will use her to warp Petra into the middle of the action here. And now the biggest concern for Petra here is enemies with gambits, and I don't want to be in range of too many of them. This one doesn't move, so I can take my time getting to him. But I only want to be one of these Sword Masters with Onslaught at one time.
I will prevail.
80% chance that they'll miss me. And while that many red lines would typically be a suicide mission for anyone who isn't capable of avoiding every single blow or negating all the damage in Maddening mode, for Petra, she should be just fine. I'll also give her the Rapier so that she can counterattack these horses and kill them. Ah, I forgot something.
For thousands. Now.
So,
What's my strategy?
before I do that, what I'm going to do is use Retribution.
Thank you.
And that way Petra will actually be able to counterattack the enemy mages that are sitting on their horses over there. There's a Holy Knight and a Dark Knight. And now, she should be able to long-range counter this Holy Knight and this Dark Knight with Retribution up, with the Rapier for super effective damage. And as long as she doesn't get hit by Gambit here, everything should go just fine. And she's still got 146 base of Void. So it looks like this enemy with Swordbreaker has a 9% chance of hitting her. But as long as she doesn't get hit by both that and the Onslaught, she'll be fine. On this side, we have Warriors and eventually Paladin to deal with. Paladin's quite tanky.
I'll cut through.
But Felix should be able to bait this Warrior out, no problem. And he won't be doubled by it. And as long as he doesn't get hit or crit, which is quite unlikely, he'll be fine. And even if he does get hit, I can heal him up. I'll equip Javelin for support bonus. On this side, I can't really advance up towards Felix, so I'm kind of cut off from him because of this Sniper and this Titaness to a lesser extent. They can attack me through these walls. But if I can get Linhardt over into this central area here, and I think right here is about as far as I can move him without taking attacks from a Titaness, I can actually reach the middle where Petra is going to be and heal her from long range. So I'm going to try to make progress toward that. Dorothea does have Aloise as an adjutant, so that means even if these soldiers double her, she shouldn't die here. She only has 12 attack speed with the arrow, so let's see if we can get her attack speed into not being doubled range. Looks like Thunder will get her up to 21. I think she still gets doubled by that. So in that case, it's probably better to go for something a little bit mightier. Sagittae has higher hit rate and also higher attack. Nagnea's arrow has even higher hit rate, but we lose some accuracy. I'm gonna go for the accurate option here. And I expect the damage will be light on both sides. She has 40 resilience, and I only have 49 attack. Although, there's some variability with their weapons here.
I'm awake.
Use a Blessing Gambit, but that's probably a little bit overkill.
Ready
and I'll
for
have
anything.
Ferdinand standing by to assist with cleaning out these Dark Mages next turn.
Activated. Increase output gradually, depending on the amount of magical energy charged. I don't care if we destroy Shambhala, so long as our goals are fulfilled.
So now the Magic Ballistae are online, but they won't hit, so it doesn't matter. Here comes enemy number 1. 0% chance of hitting me. Pretty much guaranteed to die on the counter here.
Witness frigid pride.
And here comes another. 0 hit rate versus a probable death sentence.
You are in my way. Flame spirits protect me.
It's nice of the enemies to be so cooperative. No hit rate. I'll need a crit to get this kill. That's alright. He's still not a threat. Although he will increase the Gambit's hit rate slightly. That's a miss. And also, yep, there's the crit. That should take care of this.
Each battle a victory.
Her crit rates aren't as high because she's a Pegasus Knight instead of a Sword Master, but she's still a ridiculously powerful unit. I might miss, yep, there we go. So, Swordbreaker did this enemy some good. Alright, so far so good.
Not so fast.
This is our chance.
It's pretty high for a hit rate on an Onslaught. Luckily it missed. So I don't need to heal Petra yet. This should probably miss. Alright. Felix's counterattack there is pretty weak, but at least he's not getting killed. And while this would potentially kill Dorothea, Aloys will save her life.
How about this?
Nice.
Saw that.
Even a crit isn't enough to kill because Adjutant Guard protects there. And the warrior is starting to come down this way as well, so I'll have to deal with him shortly. For right now, see how much damage we can do with Ferdinand. I don't like the crit rates, so I might want to go for a Silver Axe. Really smash for the accuracy. That'll kill by perfect damage, so I'll probably go for that. And then we might be able to get a kill on one of these. 120 damage to Linhardt, we'll do 19, 29 out of Dorothea.
Final act.
It's a little bit short. Well, I'll go for the kill at the very least. Maybe we can get Lysithea over here.
For our future.
Might be a little bit too far, but I will definitely put Ferdinand right behind this enemy, so that way we get a hit rate boost. Yeah, Lysithea is too far away. So I'm going to need to solve this with Dorothea and Linhardt. I suppose I could just heal Dorothea with Linhardt and that would solve it. But then Ferdinand would have to potentially take a death, which has some small chance of critting him. I suppose I can attack from outside his range with Dorothea here. Good way to get some free damage in. That'll get her up to full. So now she's in no danger of being killed. We just have to worry about Ferdinand getting caught by a death crit, but it's about a 90% chance that won't happen. Petra's doing fine, but she didn't kill all of the enemies because she didn't luck out, so I think what I'm going to do here is warp in a reinforcement for her. Let's see what the enemy hit rates look like. Paladin might hit. The Gambits might as well. 131 base hit versus 116. Alright, so if I want to guarantee that she survives, it's probably going to require Alert Stance. Definitely Alert Stance will be required for Byleth as well. I'll go with the Silver Lance due to its offensive power and relatively low weight. She should be safe now. Could actually go for attacks with Petra here. But I think it's safer to just wait, even though that sort of spends a turn and then we're going to have Titanuses spawning. I'd like to get to the boss before the Titanuses start spawning because while they're not that problematic because their hit rate isn't, you know, out of line. It's like 120 something, 130 something, 128. But if I don't use Alert Stance, that does mean that they have a small chance of hitting me, and if they hit me, they have a pretty good chance of killing me. So I would like to hurry up in the middle there. But on this side, I think I can take my time to a greater or lesser extent. I'll use a Gambit with Ingrid here.
No trouble.
Let's turn the tables.
Nice. And that makes this position pretty favorable. Felix is a little bit away from being able to get this kill. And there's a small risk that he'll be hit and he can't take 2 hits. So I think what I'm going to do Just have him wait in the enemy range. And I can do that with a silver sword, since his speed has been lowered by the gambit here. I love seeing that. 0 might, 0 hit, 0 crit. That's what I want to see from enemy attacks most of the time.
Watch and learn.
Alright, here comes the paladin and the warrior. Guaranteed miss. Probable kill on my counter.
All is going to plan. Only the strong survive.
Yep. I have Bernadette as a Falco Knight Adjutant for this chapter because she wouldn't have been safe to deploy with the Quake coming out. And the Bow Knight. Nice.
Another victory.
We're thinning out the enemies in the middle here. Alright, he didn't crit. Ferdinand's still alive. We'll get him next turn.
Let's think carefully.
Alright, let's both survive even if this hits. No chance. Nice. Lucky crit.
You fought well.
That means I might be able to mobilize Felix on player phase instead of using that to kill the enemy.
Faster. Never enough.
Great offensive level up for Felix.
Gotta use your head sometimes.
Even if this hits, I'll be fine. Luckily it didn't hit, so I don't need to get Linhardt over there to heal. And these enemies are slowly coming towards me. So, can the paladin reach? Yes, the warrior cannot.
I will not let down my guard.
Looks like Linhardt is out of being able to reach this turn, so I guess I might as well attack if I can gain something from it.
More fighting.
So what I might do here is Linhardt and Dorothea versus the Dark Bishop, and then send Ferdinand this way. He doesn't have Lancebreaker, but he can probably trade blows with a paladin. 35 attack speed, 32. Yeah, he'll be fine. So, I think if I heal him up to full,
Back to the fray.
then take out the Dark Bishop and move into the Paladin's range, that's
Ready
probably a
for
good play here with Ferdinand. Good, that'll get the kill.
I will see this war through.
I think this mage can reach me here or here. So I think here is where I want to put Ferdinand. Is that right? Alright, good. Looks like I got that right. Then I can move Dorothea over this way, or keep her close. Might as well go for some free damage.
I've really gotten the hang of this.
Then on this side, I think Lysithea can kill this enemy with Luna. One shot, guaranteed kill.
No time to slow down.
Alright. I think that takes care of all of our problems. So I'll begin moving Felix and Ingrid. Then I believe I should begin trying to clear this area out. So I think Petra will have a small chance of being hit here, 25%. This enemy also has the Gambit, Resonant Lightning with 27 magic. So 19 resilience versus what's that? 16 damage. Should be alright. If she does get hit, I don't think I have Linhardt available, so that is a little bit risky. And the enemies do have Onslaught, which means they have a small chance of hitting as well. So if I want to play this safe, I think the thing to do is put it right in front of him. Maybe use a Gambit, down his stats, and prevent him from Gambiting me. And the alternative would be to wait. There's 116 avoid. So there's a small chance of her being hit. I don't think there's a really good way that I can guarantee survival. I'm gonna have to gamble with these onslaught odds, I think. Okay, there's only one onslaught. That's not the case. But if I don't use alert stance, I'll have to gamble with the actual hit rates themselves. I'm not a fan of gambling, so I'm gonna give her the rapier and sit in front of him, and that'll be that. We're looking at 11% hit rates here. 14s with lethal damage, so alert stance for Ryleth as well seems like the right play. Now I'm gonna stay out of this Great Knight's range with Byleth here. No chance, no damage. Alright, if this hits, it's not gonna be great, but we'll be alive. Missed, so that's good. And Paladin versus Ferdinand. Should be able to kill him with a smash and then retreat. Maybe magic as well. No chance. I think Petra's a little bit too slow to double here. Just because she loses 1 speed from being a Pegasus Knight. This can hit. It's okay. I think that's the last gambit from him. I will need to heal here with Linhardt, though. Which means I probably had not want to take many risks here. Potentially try for a kill with a Brave Sword. And with Sword Dance I can't get the hit rates down to 0. But the enemy is going to attack me and I'm going to get a chance to counter.
I must pull through.
Can I get a guaranteed kill with Byleth here? 40 attack speed versus 53. Yeah, I'm gonna have to use Alert Stance. I'll probably do the same with Petra, just so that way I know I can heal.
Thanks.
And that takes care of Byleth.
Battle does have its benefits.
And I can continue moving Lysithea over this way. Definitely want to stay out of the warrior's range. Paladin should be dead. The bishop does have some crit chance with Abraxas, I think. I guess not. So I can get away with leaving Ferdinand in range as long as he has 32 or more HP, which he currently does. So I want to go with the Silver Axe. Maybe if I can get the kill with the Iron Axe, but I think my damage will be a little short. I can get 84 with the Iron Axe. With the Silver Axe, I think we get 94. So I'll take this small risk.
I will not back down one step.
That works out.
This is the cost of war.
And then I will pull Ferdinand back. Probably check his attack speed. With a short axe, I think he will have... Well, it's hard to tell because the Silver Axe Plus now has 20 weight. But I think it keeps its 10 weight from Silver Axe and Silver Axe Plus. So he'd lose potentially 2 speed. And he needs an attack speed of 28 to avoid being doubled. Should be fine if I give him the short axe. And then he'll get a chance to counterattack.
I'm grateful.
On this side, I think that Ingrid and Felix are both trapped. But I'll have them use their alert stance buff. And there's the first tightness. Going a little bit slow here. But at least he won't be able to hit.
Watch and learn.
Another no chance of hitting attack. And there's another.
Watch and learn.
Then there's another one. Alright, one more hit and he goes down. And here's the counter. Nice. If we hit again, it'll be a kill.
If I live, I fight.
That went well. No chance. Nice. That's another enemy down.
This could turn the tides.
And more are heading our way. Looks like more groups of enemies are activating, including that tightness there. So, I definitely want to take out this Great Knight. 75 hit, 75 hit. So the hit rate's going to stay the same here, which means there's going to be a small chance that Brother Petra will be hit. This enemy does only have 4 move though, so it looks like they will be able to reach all the way to the door, unfortunately. But I can certainly do this with the rapier, with Petra, get the key, and then I'll be in a good position for next turn. Although I might have to take a small risk.
What's my strategy?
I suppose I can trade the door key to Byleth afterwards. So do I want to do alert stance? Or do I want to take an attack? Oh, looks like there are no onslaughts coming my way. Alert Sense would be a little bit safer, although if I remove one of these chances for the enemy to attack, then it won't be that much safer that it actually warrants doing. So I'll go for the attack here, eliminating an enemy threat, because that'll reduce our damage input, or intake a little bit more. And then I'll put Byleth all the way up back here. The Swordmaster won't be able to get to her, and the Titaness probably won't hit her. And it's perfectly fine if Petra gets attacked by the Swordmaster, as long as she doesn't get hit by both the Titaness and the Swordmaster, which is quite unlikely. Can't quite reach anything with Lysithea, but I probably should keep her over here anyway. Do have to take out this enemy warrior.
I will not let down my guard.
Might be able to do some damage with Ferdinand here. Might be worth gambiting him, actually. But we're not very likely to hit. Do a sizable chunk of damage with Dorothea, but I don't think it'll be quite enough. As long as I heal Ferdinand, I should be able to hit and run. But I might need to pull Dorothea or Linhardt out of the way here. I suppose I could also go all in and try to Nosferatu him. That could work. Let's do that. We'll open with a Sagittate, which is guaranteed to hit.
All this power just to survive.
And then we should be able to do some damage reliably with Ferd. We might even be able to get this kill. A little bit short on the Silver Axe. And even the smash with the Iron Axe isn't quite enough, but we can get pretty close. So I think I'll try either the short axe or a follow-up to Linhardt's attack. Linhardt's hit rate is higher, so this is the less risky maneuver, so I'll do this instead. And then, as long as this doesn't miss, we should be able to pick up the kill with Ferdinand. And there's the Poison Strike. 96. I'll go for 100. Just because if he does survive, that means Linhardt or Dorothea probably die.
No time for pity. I'll take all the strength I can get.
Not a bad level up at all for Ferdinand. Great physical offensive level up. And I'll put him next to Dorothea for passive healing. I'll just wait with our dodgy units. It might hit, but it won't do any damage, so this is still fine.
Watch and learn. No use.
It's fine even if it hit.
You are in my way.
But it looks like he's dead now. One less enemy to worry about attacking us from behind. Alright. So I didn't make it into the boss room before these Titanesses have started spawning down here and all the enemies have started converging on my units, so this is not quite as LTC as I wanted it to be, but that's fine. Now, Petra doesn't have Retribution up anymore,
What's my strategy?
so I'm actually going to spend this turn
Appreciate it.
basically just to rebuff Petra.
I will prevail.
Maybe I'll equip Byleth with a short spear just to be able to attack at range. And then I'll have Petra wait, so that way if this Bow Knight decides to take a shot, it's less likely to hit. Probably want to move Dorothea and Linhardt out of the Bow Knight range as well.
Let's make this quick.
I can take an attack with Lysithea using Seraphim here. It'll actually do some pretty good damage and get a little experience for her.
More fighting.
I think we can hit him with Thorn as well, and that might take down an HP bar. Probably not really essential to take out the Titanus, since we should be safe here. He can't climb up the stairs.
I'm awake.
I think I'll move Ferdinand over this way, just in case something decides to come towards these units. I'll have someone sort of as an advance guard. Heal him up to full while I'm at it. And then I will leave Ingrid and Felix where they are. No damage. Also no damage. It's nice when they don't do anything. They're kind of bothersome if they do. No chance. Alright, so on this turn I'm going to open this door, and once I do that, the boss will probably use his AoE attack to hit everyone on the entire map for massive damage if they can't fly. And I need to take certain countermeasures with Felix here to keep him alive. So first off, equipping him with the Aegis Shield gives him 3 extra resilience, and if I drink a Pure Water, that gives him a plus 10 resistance buff, which should help keep him alive. Gives him an effective 69 bulk, I think. And on this side we have just mages and flyers, so they should be able to survive just fine. And with this done, should be able to open this door. And you can't actually canto into the room on the turn that you open it, which I think is kind of interesting. But yeah, this room has a whole bunch of enemies, all of them have battalions, and I'm going to have to dodge a whole bunch of gambits here. So, the best play I think is to actually go for a gambit myself, prevent these swordmasters from gambiting me, and also so that I'm more likely to kill them on the counter. And I probably want to go for the Rapier Plus, or maybe the Cursed Ashias sword, although that's a little bit risky, in order to increase my evasion rating here.
I have a plan.
So that should limit the number of attacks that I'm going to take. And as long as I don't get hit by too many of them, which are relatively unlikely to hit individually, at least like 1% here, 10% there. And the highest one is a 28% of survivable damage, so that should be okay. The Bow Knight won't be able to hit, so that should be fine as well. Small chance of doing survivable damage from these Titanuses, although if they crit I might be in trouble. And the whole map is now covered in this purple because Alice has a spell which literally has infinite range. 1 to infinity, as you can see. Now, you might think that you could just dodge Quake, but in my testing something's a little bit fishy with its hit rate. So it says that it's 50 base hit, and Death has 70, so you'd say, well, it's got a base hit of like 106. And Pedra has a natural avoid that's higher than that, so she should always avoid it, but in my testing, she can actually be killed by it, which is a a little bit interesting. I'm not sure if that's sort of bugged or like rolls it against one unit and then applies it to everyone. But something a little bit fishy is going on there. And there are more Titanuses coming, but I don't plan on dealing with them for long.
Watch and learn.
I think there's one durability left on the short spear. That was a mistake.
If only... For Brid...
Alright, it's just about time to open the door. Now before I do that, the boss has Quake, which is a big scary AoE magic spell that hits everyone on the map.
I'll cut through.
So in order to survive that, I need to do something about Felix and his 9 resistance here, because he only has 50 HP. I'll give him the Aegis shield, which brings his resilience up by 3. Also has a chance of proccing Aegis, which should cut the damage in half if it works. And I'll also drink pure water, that'll bring him up to 19. So with 69 bulk, he should be able to survive that just fine.
What's my strategy?
I will trade Petra and take her door key, and open the door. And I think I'll leave Byleth right here, so that way she can only be attacked by 1 melee unit and 1 unit from 2 range. As you can see, the room is full of enemies with a lot of gambits. They all have fairly low odds of hitting, and are going to do survivable damage as long as only one of them hits. Talus has Quake, and you might think, well, Quake only has 50 base hit. That means that it would have a total of 106 hit. Why can't you just dodge that with Petra as like a Swordmaster? And something funny is going on with the hit rates there. In my testing, it turns out that even though her base evasion is high enough that she should have a 0% chance of being hit by it, it actually does connect with her for some reason. So that's why she's a flyer for this. Everyone else is either a major flyer here, so we should be pretty safe from actually being killed by that. It's just all the enemies that I have to worry about.
I will prevail.
No, I don't think the Titanuses have a very good chance of hitting Petra, let alone killing her. So I could potentially take a risk there. And I probably ought to take out this Bow Knight before this Bow Knight gets close enough to actually do some damage to Byleth. Rapier's probably the way to go.
To survive, I will win! Not for myself, for everyone. For Bridget, I find strength to carry on.
I mean, that wasn't her best level up, but I'll take it. So it looks like Byleth will be attacked 1 range, and then 2 range. That's it. So she should be able to survive as long as she dodges 1 attack. I put Petra here. Petra will also have to dodge 1 attack to survive, but she should be fine doing that. And the sniper can't even reach her. I definitely don't want to leave my Scythia where she is in case a Titanus spawns here.
Let's make this quick.
More fighting.
Also might be high time to start blasting with meteors here, because I think that every enemy in the map is soon going to start activating, so might as well deal some damage before they get any closer. And we're off to an alright start.
Ready for anything.
That's too far, but this is just far enough.
I'm awake.
Ready
And
when
then I
you
will
are.
wait with it. Just for the avoid buff, though, it probably won't do much. There's a tightness. Probable miss. Even broke the barrier there. I think that's because they're technically considered armored units. She took a hit, so she can't take any more. That's fine, won't do anything. There's another do nothing attack. Here comes the quake. And we survived it. And that's the hard part of the chapter. Had to bank on a little bit of luck there. Rapier just broke. Alright, that miss. We're in good shape. I think the short spear broke. No, not yet. Alright. Done very low durability. Now I just have to deal with the enemies as they come and continue baiting them. And then I can deal with Talus at my leisure. Alright, so dealing with these enemies is going to be a little bit tricky. There are 2 enemy sword masters, and that's the big thing. So, in order to take them out, it's probably going to require ranged units, because I don't think I can go toe-to-toe with a swordmaster, and I'm definitely not going to be able to hit with a short axe.
I
So-
can't die yet.
I also have to stay out of this enemy sniper range, or else I might be in trouble, because he'll be able to take out this flying unit, which is Ferdinand, or any 3 of these mages pretty easily, except Dorothea if she's on full health, thanks to Aloise having her back. I should be able to take out the Swordmaster in the back from here with Lysithea. That's good. And it also provides a Gambit boost on the other units here.
No time to slow down.
Ready for anything.
From there I can fly in here and take out the enemy sniper with Ferdinand, probably. A little bit risky.
I will not hold back.
Nice.
I will see this war through.
He didn't hit us either, which
You're
conserves HP and
relentless.
makes this a little bit easier. I would like to put him here, but I think I might have to put him here. And that is a little bit exposed to danger. Suppose I'll just withdraw him entirely. That way he'll be safer. From here,
Awake.
Linhardt does have a 3-range spell, so he'll provide a Gambit support bonus against this by standing here and healing Dorothea.
Exquisite timing.
And then we should have a pretty good odd of actually hitting this with a Wyvern with this Resonant Lightning Gambit. 90%. A little bit risky. Hopefully it works out.
I've got a plan.
Good. And that neutralizes this one and the Swordmaster until next turn, which buys us some time. Meanwhile, in the center, Petra is injured, and Byleth is not in great shape either.
Remain cautious.
I can potentially retreat here, but I'm going to be flooded with tightnesses, so that's not that great. What I would like to do is advance with Petra. Although, there are quite a few enemies here. But I think if I swap Byleth with Petra, we should be okay. Is 86 avoid plus 30 will be 116. So, definitely want to be careful with the enemy range here for this sniper. As long as I sit at the edge of it with alert stance, I think I should be alright. And then I can put Petra on the stairs here. And use a healing item. Or it might actually be better if I just go for alert stance. As long as the enemy doesn't go for a gambit on her, which it looks like they will. I really wish I didn't need Linhardt to yeah, I guess Linhardt didn't need to heal Dorothea here. But that'll only heal one of them, and then the other will have to heal themselves. Not a great situation I've got myself into over here. I might be best served by just withdrawing a little bit. Definitely want Petra to be taking the brunt of the blows here. Let's see. Master has 6 move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I move here. Cover with a killing edge and I wait. 144 avoid, she should probably be fine. Then I want to back Petra, or Byleth even further away. Probably want to keep Byleth out of tightness overlap range with her. And I might be able to pull out a concoction and heal as well. That takes care of that. And on this side of the map I can finally get out of this corner with Ingrid and Felix.
Is this my last stand?
I did give Felix an elixir, just for the turn after getting hit by a quake.
No use.
Yep, guaranteed miss, no problem. No damage, no problem.
Watch and learn.
So the Titans are advancing towards my units on the bottom left. And that might be a problem, but they can't climb the stairs, so it's not that big of a problem. Miss.
Let's try some.
That hits, I'm in trouble. But luckily it didn't. Having to bank on a little bit of luck there to avoid some stuff. This one isn't a matter of luck though. If I'd killed Petra with Linhardt, I wouldn't have needed to bank on dodging that there.
Witness frigid pride.
And there's a whole bunch of enemies coming towards me now. It might be right about time to retreat with the units that are on the bottom left here. Or at least consider it. What is Lysithia have for a gambit? Resonant Lightning? I mean, I could do an awful lot of damage with a Resonant Lightning here. But it just... I'd probably get her killed. And I mean, there's just too many really high power offensive threats here. I probably can't leave the Wyvern Lords. I do need to take him out. I can probably do that with a hit and run with Ferdinand, although that does leave the sniper. I can probably outrun Swordmaster and, to a lesser extent, the sniper for a while. Warrior's not a problem either. Wyvern Rider, Sniper, Faitness are the three issues because they can get over this wall. Or actually outpace me in the case of the Wyvern Lord here. So how am I going to get out of this situation? Alright, so I've got the solution here. At least I think I do. If I pull Lysithea back to this space, I can take out this enemy sniper using a Dark Spikes with 100% accuracy. And there goes our biggest threat.
You must press on.
Beautiful level up.
Not there yet.
Now we have to worry about 2 Swordmasters, a Warrior, and a Wyvern Lord. Now I don't have to worry too much about the Wyvern Lord, because if I throw a Short Axe at him, he'll die. Or if I pull an Iron Axe out and I hit him with it, he'll die. So, I'm gonna do that.
If I live, I fight.
Now, I can actually take a hit from this Swordmaster, a double from with Ferdinand, which is just fine. I'm gonna have to reposition here slightly, but that's fine. I do have a warp with Linhardt to make up for this. Probably should have moved Linhardt first so I didn't have to use it. But if I put him right here, he'll be able to block both ways of getting to Lysithea with 5 move. And then I can move Dorothea over here and do some kind of ranged attack with something like Thoron, or maybe even Sagittae. Take down this one's HP. Might even be able to use the Thoron to take out this one, although hit rates are a little shaky. And even Sagittae won't quite get it done, so I'd need to gamble on Agnea's Arrow in order to get this kill, and I don't really want to do that. So, Thunder it is.
Strike you down.
Lucky. That makes things simple.
Winning is what matters.
You're in good form.
And now he'll be able to reach Ferdinand, but not Lysithea. Actually, I think what I can do here is just pull Linhardt back and just warp Lysithea out of the way. It should be just fine. I'm not sure if I could count on Dorothea taking a hit from the Swordmaster and surviving to Aloise, because the Swordmaster does have 34 crit, which is kind of high. But I can definitely bring Ingrid around here to help this side, and I can send Felix as well. Meanwhile, in the exciting middle of the map, Petra still needs healing, but this is fine. One onslaught, 2 onslaughts, 2 onslaughts, so I probably want to bait that with Byleth rather than Petra at this point. That should be pretty safe. And then I can pull Petra out, put her over here, and pull some kind of a healing item out of the convoy. And I'm sort of rotating my troops here so that they have an opportunity to heal while the other one tanks. No problem.
Now's the time.
Rylith will survive this one way or another. That's his last onslaught. As long as Ferdinand doesn't get crit, he'll be fine. And I think the enemies have figured out where they ought to be attacking me, because they're sending all their units down here to deal with my units. I want to stay out of this Swordmaster's range, but if I stay in the Warriors and the Swordmaster's range here, I should be okay. I also want to stay clear of the Titaness ranges. I should be able to get this kill with Lysithea. That might be a little bit of a waste, so Dorothea may be a better choice. A little bit risky. I'll try it. If it feels I could use Lysithea.
Only thorns left on this rose.
Alright, that worked out well. Now I can take out... Well, I might have to use Hades, but I should still be able to take this one out in one hit.
I've got no time for mercy.
And there's an S+ for Lysithea.
This success will translate to victory.
As if she needed more magical offensive power. But that'll definitely be helpful in the upcoming chapter. All one of them. Well, at least she got it in the playthrough. I was worried that I would only see Swordfare on Petra from getting the S+ rank. I could have used a Physic there with Linhardt. I think that that's fine to use it here, because this side is a little bit more trouble than the other side is. .28 damage is not great.
I will prevail.
0 hit rate is quite nice, though. So, I could potentially try to take him out this turn. I could also just go for it. I'll be avoid tanking everything except for this onslaught, which can hit or miss and it won't really matter. She has enough HP and that'll be fine. And then I want to keep Petra out of the range of all these other enemies while healing, but I don't think that this axe-wielding enemy will actually be able to hit her with 116. Okay, he's got a 2% chance of hitting her, so quite low. Now Petra's up to full. And
Fight to the very last.
Ferdinand doesn't have any healing items, so I'll just buff of his evasion by waiting. And assassin spawn. Because there were enough enemies already.
Take something out of here. We should capture them before they escape.
No hit. No damage and no hit. And we mastered Falco Knight.
I fully grasped this topic.
Defiant Avoid is a little bit tricky to use, but very powerful.
Watch and learn.
Because why say no to another, you know, huge Avoid bonus? That's also going to miss. Probable miss. Would have been okay if it did hit. And there's the kill.
Each battle a victory.
There are more enemies for us to take out.
It is decided.
Alice should be fine here either way. So we definitely want to stay out of this Swordmaster's range. Looks like we're fine in our current positioning. Also want to stay clear of the tightness. But as long as we take out the Swordmaster plus the Warrior, we should be in good shape. Ingrid's damage is a little bit underwhelming at this point. Could do 43 damage. Could miss. I can guarantee 34, but then I need to pick up a 30 extra damage. Might be able to get up to 26 plus 4. Is that enough to kill with exact damage? Yeah. It's a little bit risky. If it does fail, I do have an impregnable wall available to me. So, as long as I position my unit safely, this should be okay to do. Let's begin. There's the first hit. I'm going to need 2 more. Alright, so far so good. Now we just need the last little bit of chip damage here. Got it.
My duty is your death.
And now Lysithea should be able to take out the Warrior.
Let's make this quick.
Even Hades won't do it, huh? That is one beefy Warrior. Oh. I guess I could always throw a hand axe at him. Alright, maybe I want something a little bit more accurate. Iron axe will do. I smash. We're at 98 versus 93. I guess I'll go for it. Just to keep those odds of getting got by this guy down to the minimum.
This is the cost of war.
Oh, it is a little bit inefficient to use a short axe like that. Then I'll have Felix over here. We're in pretty good shape on that side now. And we also have both of our Pegasi at full health. Almost full health. And this room is pretty much clear. There's no longer a ton of Swordmasters in the way of getting to Talus. And we have enough move that we can actually approach him from here with Byleth safely. We don't have quite enough damage to guarantee a kill. And he also has a small chance of hitting us, so I won't do that. But something like that's coming up soon. Gonna have to bait him due to quick riposte. These enemies have resonant lightning and range overlap. It's not an ideal combination. I definitely don't want to bait them with Byleth, if I can bait them with Petra. But if I can bait them individually, that's probably the best way to go about it. I'll go for the Iron Lance for maximum avoidance. 15% chance of hitting, not bad at all. And then I've put Petra here, she only has to worry about 1 attack. And there's another tightness.
Predictable.
At least these things are completely impotent against me.
Watch and learn.
I think that one's going to turn around and start heading towards the flyers as well. It's fine if it hits. Sword of Zoltan's not a bad item, but I don't really need it.
Let's do this.
Small chance of hitting. If it hits, it's fine. Probably should stay out of the boss's range, so that I don't get death to death. But I can do a hit and run here with Byleth. And that'll be safe.
Another victory.
More
I'll
speed
use
is
this
always
power
welcome.
for the
The other
greater
stats
good.
are just icing on top. 53 charm is quite a significant amount. 63 after the battalion bonuses. So, what's the swordsman got? No onslaughts left, so I can leave Petra right in his range, and that should be fine. Don't think she'll be doubled by him. 49 attack speed, 53. Okay. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Use the Ashaya sword I can. So, I'm just gonna mark all these tightness ranges so that way I know to stay away from the walls here. Don't think I need to care about this enemy's range since I plan on killing him. If I don't get hit, I will move into the Swordmaster's range. If I do get hit, I'll stay out of his range.
To survive, I will win.
Looks like I didn't get hit.
Witness frigid pride.
Yep. And now he has a small chance of hitting me, but my counterattack has a pretty good chance of killing him outright. On this side, we do have another Swordmaster. I do have a practiced response for Swordmasters at this point. Looks like this one has a little bit more health than the others did, so I'd have to go for Hades here. I'll try with Thoron first, so that way I might be able to use Miasma, which has slightly higher hit rate.
Saw it coming.
No, that's okay. I didn't need it to hit. Looks like I can't really move up to attack him. I might be able to do some chip damage.
How best to use this skill?
That should be fine. So Miasma's guaranteed to hit, Dark Spikes is guaranteed to hit, but it's damage short. So if I can find that 2 damage... That was unfortunate. Didn't mean to wait there. Then I'll actually be good. And if I can't find that 2 damage... I do have an impregnable wall, so if she misses, it's not that big of a deal. So I guess I will take the 7% chance here.
You will regret this.
Nice. That's a hit.
You lost that one.
I could learn from that.
Alright, so I didn't need to impregnable wall for Dan and Ingrid here. And I think that next turn we might be able to take out the boss. Even though he has an army of Titanesses waiting for us outside the room.
Predictable.
Those Viscum are more of an annoyance than a threat if you have high resistance.
No use.
Missed. Crit. Nice. It was more likely that that crit wasn't going to happen than that it was, but we got lucky with the hit. Alright, so if I use Petra here, do I have enough damage to get the kill? Yes, if I crit. And if I sit in front of him with alert stance, he can't hit me, but he does have 1 Resonant Lightning, which has 8 might, and he's got 45 magic. It's probably got Battalion Tome Fair bonus as well. Its value is 51. What's death? Might have 6. So, might have 8 would be +2. Looking at 62 base. She has 14 resistance and 55 HP. I believe that is 69 HP. So if I physic her up with Linhardt, she should be fine.
Thank you.
I mean, the Curse of Shire Sword has the best chance of getting the kill here, just because of that slightly higher crit rate. So I'll go for that. And I could do something with Byleth here, I suppose, but I'm just gonna play it safe. And then I'll get some healing experience.
Back to the fray.
That's that.
Watch and learn.
No threat at all from them.
You're nothing but animals, performing tricks in the hopes of pleasing the goddess. You will never see the sunlight again. It is pointless to
And
resist.
if this hits or misses, it doesn't make a difference. It won't kill Petra. All these Iron Giants movements are kind of superfluous. They don't really accomplish anything. So, because the enemy does have crit on me, and a small chance of hitting, I don't really want to go for this on player phase. It's safer to do it on enemy phase. So, I'm just going to sit tight with Petra. And I don't think the Titanesses can get anyone. Oh, looks like I have to move Linhardt out of range here. That's quite alright. I can probably get some free experience here if I throw a meteor around, just for laughs.
Growing.
Aloysius' levels and stats don't really make a difference, because he's very valuable as a support unit, but who wouldn't feel them at this point? Outranging the enemy is a beautiful thing, like pretty easy. And giving Ingrid some experience while we're at it, because why not? Alright, that'll do. Now we get to watch the Titanesses wander about for a bit, and then we get to see if we win the chapter this turn.
Predictable.
Even the lightning can't hit.
Watch and learn.
Avoid is pretty powerful. And he's got no hit chance, but he's got a chance of getting killed.
You are in my way.
There it is. That was the dubstep chapter. It could be a little bit tricky in places, but was perfectly manageable, partially because avoid tanking is so overpowered. the quake thing with the boss, like surviving quake is probably the hardest thing to figure out how to do in that chapter. And if you don't have flyers or a bunch of mages, it probably makes it quite a bit more difficult than it needs to be in Maddening mode. It's sort of a resistance check, and I'm not really that big of a fan of it. Especially since you can't actually avoid it reliably because of something weird going on with the hit rate mechanics for it. It also makes flyers even better than they already were, as if they needed something else going in their favor, because they just ignore the damage entirely. So the quake spell is really odd, and it's quite difficult to actually take the boss out before he gets an opportunity to use it, given that you need another unit right there to open the door, and then if you don't take out the sword masters to get to him, which, you know, they're relatively tough foes, you'd have to snipe him from 2 range and take him out. And he also has a crit tome, so there's a small chance he can crit you and kill you, so you'd probably need to do it under the cover of a blessing. All in all, I would say that it's more likely than not that you're going to have to eat the quake and have some kind of countermeasures for it. But it's not that hard to survive as long as you have units with either high resistance or chunky HP and a bunch of pure waters lying around still. Anyway, that was the second to last chapter. Up next will be the final part of this Maddening mode playthrough. Until then.